Okay guys, so we're going to do numbers 2, 3, and 4 for homework tonight for this worksheet using the Pythagorean theorem in word problems. So let's try going to number 2. Alright, so we drew the pictures in class, but you are responsible for doing the actual work of it, okay, to find the answer. So this one asks, how long is the ladder? That's where our X is going to go, okay, or a question mark. The foot of a ladder is placed 6 feet from a wall. Okay, so now there's, you can draw your wall different ways, but let's say this is my wall. Walls are vertical, right? And then if the ladder is placed 6 feet from the wall, you know that the ladder has to be at an angle. The foot of the ladder is right here. So if that is 6 feet from the wall, this is where your 6 goes. Okay, 6 feet. All right, so now it says if the top of the ladder, so here's the top of the ladder. If the top of the ladder rests 8 feet up on the wall, so how do you measure 8 feet up on the wall? It's going up, 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 up. Here's 8 feet. So from here to here, that's 8 feet. Okay? So then it says how long is the ladder? So this is what we want to know. How long is the actual ladder? Okay, so this is where you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is a right triangle, so I'm going to use a Pythagorean theorem. And I've got 3 sides, 2 of them I know, so I'm going to find the third one. Alright, now you got to decide which one of these is C. Well, it's going to be this one, because the ladder is C in this case, because it's across from, opposite from the right angle. So this is your C, and then you can decide which one's your A and B. It doesn't matter. So then let's say I put A in here, that's going to be 8 squared plus 6 squared equals x squared, and that's your ladder. Alright, so 8 squared is 64, 6 squared is 36, equals x squared. Add those together, you get 100, equals x squared. I need to do the inverse operation of squaring so that x is by itself, so you square root here, which means you have to square root here. And then what happens is, this square and the square root cancel each other out, whereas square root of 100 just becomes 10 feet, okay, equals x. So let's think about that. That means over here, this is a 10-foot ladder, okay? So how long is the ladder? It's 10 foot long. You can even write that again, 10 foot long, okay? So once again, how do we know to do this? Well, we came back and you had to draw your picture and think about, okay, this is going to have to be a right angle. The foot of the ladder is 6 foot away from the wall, and then the top of the ladder rests 8 feet up on the wall, so you have to put the 8 here. Then it says how long is the ladder? That should be the x. So it's so important you guys put the numbers and the x in the right place. Okay, and then you can see it's a right triangle, so you just apply that. You write your formula, make sure you know where the C, the A, and B are, and then you just go ahead and put it in. Then solve, and you find your missing value. Now this one, the bottom of a ladder must be placed 3 feet from a wall. Here's my wall. And if the bottom of the ladder, okay, let's say the bottom, so again, you have a ladder, and obviously it's got to be at an angle. The bottom of the ladder is 3 feet from the wall, so here is 3 feet. The bottom is 3, so if this is the wall, okay, here's a wall, the bottom of the ladder is 3 feet from the wall, and this is where you have a right angle, okay, because a wall and the ground makes a 90-degree angle, okay. You might be like, well, couldn't the wall or the floor be slanted? Yeah, but we're not going to make it that complicated. Just think of wall as vertical, the floor or the ground as horizontal, and they make all vertical and horizontal lines make a right angle. Okay, the ladder itself, the ladder is 12 feet long, so you wouldn't put the 12 here because that's not the ladder's here. So this time you put the 12 feet here. Then the question says, how far above the ground does a ladder touch the wall? So above the ground, here's the ground. Go above, and it touches the ladder. The ladder touches the wall here. So the question is, how high up is that? Now, it's not going to be the same number, guys, and do not dare think that's a 9. Some students in class were like, hey, 12 minus 3, that's 9. No, you need to think of the squares, not the sides. So you still need to treat it like the 2 golden squares added together equal the big golden squares. So which one's the C here, guys? The C is still the side that's opposite from the right angle. So this is your C, and then this could be your A, and this could be your B. So now my A is the side that I'm looking for in this case. So I'm going to call that X, or you can call it A if you want. The B is the base, the foot of the ladder away from the wall. And then the ladder is 12, so you're going to square that. So you get x squared plus 9 equals 144. In this case, you got to subtract first. Okay, so you get x squared, because this cancels. 144 minus 9. This is the end of the day, my brain. 144 minus 9. Yep, that's 135. So then, you got to square root that. Square root, square root. That cancels out. X is going to be the square root of 135. That's the exact answer. But as an approximate answer, let's see about how high up the wall it is. So square root that. It's about 11.6. So it's about 11.6 feet above the ground. Above the ground. Okay, so there it is. Number 2. John leaves school to go home. He walks 6 blocks north and then 8 blocks west. So try your best to draw a picture on your own. Okay, remember, if it helps you, do this. Draw this first. North, south, west, east. And some of you guys like to remember, never eat soggy waffles. Alright, so John leaves school to go home. So, okay, let's say here's John, and it says he walks north, so I'm going to need to start at the bottom here. So here's school. He walks 6 blocks north. Okay, that's 6 blocks north. Alright, and then you got to go 8 blocks west. So from here, you're going west. You went north and then west. So west. Right angle, this is 8 blocks west, and then he's now at home. Now it says, how far is John from the school? Well, the distance is from here to here. That's what it's asking you to find. How far is the home from the school? So then, you got a right triangle, so we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So let's see, the side opposite the right angle is C. There's your C. We'll call this A and B. It doesn't matter. So let's say A is 8. Then you put 8 squared plus 6 squared equals x squared. Then you get 64 plus 36, another 64 plus 36. Okay, equals x squared. Add that becomes 100 equals x squared. Square root, these cancel. When you have the square root of 100, that's 10, equals x. So then, how far? You would have to say 10 blocks. Okay, so this boy John, he went 6 blocks north, then 8 blocks west, and then he reached home, but technically, he's only 10 blocks from the school if he takes the shortcut. Okay? Because if you go 6 blocks, that's 6, plus 8, that's 14 blocks total, and then here he has 10 blocks. Okay, so this is your shortcut home. So guys, I would strongly suggest that you read these and then try again making your own picture, alright? And if you want to try some of these other ones, we're definitely going to do it in class, but why not give it a try and see if you can draw your picture for number 1AB, or draw your picture for 5, 6, 7, okay? Give that a shot. And please watch the video again if you need to, alright? And feel free to subscribe, not because I need subscribers, but because then if you subscribe, you'll get notifications when there's a new video. Alright, this is the end of the video.